Hello guys and welcome back. So today I wanted to make a video because I was thinking, wait, people don't really know all the characters, right? So what I want to do in this maybe 2-3 videos, one video today, one video tomorrow, one video on Monday, and I was thinking of going over all of the characters that I think they're worth building or worth using a little bit early game. I will specify if only early game, and I will tell you like which character 3, 4, 5, and 6 star are the most useful and the most worth investing into, right? Distinguishing early game and late game, right? So of course, we're gonna use for today, we're gonna use the Pridwen, the Pridwen site that's gonna help us with the list of characters. So, in this video, we're gonna talk about the 3-star and the 4-star. Now, you are gonna get 2 4-stars for free from doing the story. I believe within the first chapter 1 of the story, you will get Eagle, and then you'll get Leilani, which is sadly for her a 3-star. Now, you saw the vote there, but don't worry about it. First of all, keep in mind that whatever Pridwen says is not exactly set in stone. Whatever Pridwen web vote can give, like whatever voted that is, it doesn't necessarily mean that the character is trash dog shit, right? It's not. Even a character that has a B or even a C, when it comes to early game, what is early game? Let's make a distinction. Early game is doing the story, chapter 1 to chapter 4, more or less, clearing or almost clearing the full entirety of artificial somnambulism, which is the approach to endgame, and then unlocking limbo. That's early game. Limbo and maybe the last part of artificial somnambulism, and maybe the very last part of the very last chapter 4. That part is around approaching endgame, mid to endgame. Also, endgame and early game also means the progression of your character, which means that if character is good in late game, endgame, it means that the concept, like saying this, implies that you are referring to a character that has a high insight. The insight is, if you guys don't know, I'll briefly explain it. An insight is when you ascend this character to the next tier of their power. So they have 3, the 5-star and the 6-star have 3 insight levels, while the 4-star and the 3-star, the 4-star only has 2 and the 3-star I believe only has 1. I'm not super sure about that exactly. Let me check really quick. No, the 3-star has 2 as well. So I think only radio then. Only radio and door have only 1, right? Let me see. Oh, they all have 2. All right, so nobody has 1. That's even better. So yeah. Now let's go over the list. First of all, let's knock out these 2. These 2 are fine. The only usage for them is to do some gimmick, because they work around them sacrificing themselves to buff or debuff the enemy, to buff the allies or debuff the enemy. So they're only used, even then they're subpar compared to just actually playing the game normally, but there are some specific encounters that have specific buffs for the whole fight. Let's say if you're fighting a boss, which the boss stage is giving everybody full moxie by just by the stage buff itself. It's a gimmick. Let's say the gimmick of the stage is everybody has full moxie. Then using door or miss radio, it's an option. Actually, miss radio no, but door, it's an option to use in that super specific niche case. Otherwise, it's not worth, right? So I mean, they're really easy to build anyway, because they're 3-star, they're 2-star, so they're not gonna take much investment. So if you wanna, when you have nothing to do anymore, when you have no one to invest to anymore, you can chuck them in and level them up. Let's go to the 3-stars. Talking of the 3-stars, realistically, only Lasurs and Leilani are worth even like looking into. Especially Lasurs is really good early game, and Leilani is okay early game, and then it's like, of course, she falls off. Leilani, as you can see, it gives Moxie +1 for other allies when she does the ult. She also has the Born Socializer. She enables, when she enters battle, Moxie +1 to all allies, and additional Moxie +1 for the caster. So she's gonna simplify the Moxie gain. She's gonna like make it faster. So she's a decent option. She's also the first beast that you get. So you're not gonna get Dick until day 8. So for like the beast coverage, let's say you want to counter plant, then you're gonna have Leilani or whatever you're gonna pull. Let's assume you're not pulling for anyone, right? If you're not pulling for anyone, then Leilani, it's a decent choice on early game, but you're gonna have to replace her at some point because the character is just a 3-star, so the stats are not that high. She's gonna fall off extremely hard later on, and she just has that +1. Besides that, she just deals a little bit more damage if they're debuffed, and that's it. And if HP is below 50, so early game is gonna help. But yeah, Lasers has really high healing and Moxie -2 on the ult, so that's really good early game. If for some reason you're rerolling, let's say, right, you're rerolling and you don't get Balloon Party or any other healer, you don't get Medpoc, Balloon Party, even Necrologist, you don't get her, at that point, or Sotheby, if you don't pull for Sotheby banner, at that point you're gonna have to use Lasers first until you wait for Dikke, because Dikke is day 8. On day 8, I'm assuming you're done with the story already. So by the time you get Dikke, you have to use someone to heal, right? So on the 4-star pulls, I don't think there is any healer. Now that I realize, yeah, but Apple is not a healer. It's like a little bit of a hybrid. It helps a little bit. So I wouldn't even bother leveling up Apple too much, to be honest, straight up, because like you don't really need the elemental coverage yet. You can just use whatever you want. You're gonna have a powerful 6-star carrying you through this majority of the story if you build them, whatever you chose between the 3. So Lasers is a really good option for investment. She's just she's a 3-star, so she's gonna be cheaper, and also she detracts 2 Moxie from the target. So if you time it correctly, you can negate a boss, for example, to do their ult, because you boom -2, boom -2 every time it wants to do the ult, you do -2. And she also gives healing to all allies, and just sometimes it's really important to note, sometimes the healing cards on some healers don't become healing until the second power level of the card. In this case, it's always healing, so that I personally appreciate when you just have a heal card, even if it's low. Even if it's a level 1, at least you have one. So it's really important, in my opinion. So Lasers, good. Going to, I don't think there is any. To be honest, I don't think there is anyone else worth building. To be honest, on the 3 stars, and not even Leilani. To be fair, maybe I1, maybe not even. If you can squeeze Leilani unleveled, I mean, without any insight for the longest time, and still a user, I think it's fine. Let's go to 4-star now. On the 4-star, there's a bunch of people that could be good. Let's go over Eagle first, which is the first character, and then let's check on Erick. Those two are, in my opinion, are the most value. Not even Apple, to be honest, but Apple, you're gonna have to level him up a little bit anyway. So Apple is, I guess, a guaranteed leveled up, so I'm not even gonna touch on him too much. He doesn't do much, but he heals. He constantly heals when he attacks. So like he heals, I believe, the lowest HP team member. So that's a good option, but it doesn't heal that much because it's not a heal. It's an attack with a heal. So it's not gonna do that much. Now let's get to Eagle. Eagle is a really good and strong option early game, for the sole reason that she's really strong. She has automatic high crit rate, so she's gonna crit a lot. See here, crit rate plus 40% when you do the ult. Excess critical rate is converted to critical damage. correct me if I'm wrong. I have a question. I will probably ask on the Discord as well to know more. I think if a character has to say that the excess critical rate is converted to critical damage, otherwise this is not a global mechanic. That's why you have some characters that specify it inside the cards. I feel like that's the reason why they specify it, because if they don't, you can cap, you can have 200% critical rate, is not going to convert. I have this feeling. So correct me if you know, or otherwise I will just ask on the Discord, for the Pridwin Discord. You should join too as well, for the Reverse 1999. They know a lot. They help a lot. So if you have any question that I don't know, feel free to go there, to join the Discord and go ask there. Tell them that I sent you, actually. Yeah, that would be cool. Now, all the pocket, whatever. So the back into the kit. All on this spell, like if she attacks someone that has a negative status of like the usual stuff, control negative status, that's down any debuff almost, she gets a little bit of leech rate, which helps early game because you don't have a healer. It's easy that it's plausible that you don't have a healer. So yeah, so that one, and then it deals even more damage. To be fair, has a one target attack for a 4-star, 200% reality damage with 10% leech rate. That's kind of high. I'm pretty sure some 6 stars don't even have 200% right off the bat. 180. Some of them don't even have 180. Some 5-star don't even have 180. 6-star, yes, but so the multiplier here are extremely high. So she's gonna hit like a truck, and also she has a mass attack as well, and which automatic penetration rate plus 30%. So 120 is it's okay. There are characters that are higher rarity than her that deal less reality damage percentage. So that's for the mass attack. So that's a big. Those are big number, the big multipliers. Now, if the multiplier is applying to a low stat, it doesn't matter how high the multiplier is if the flat stat is dog shit, right? Like a 100% increase on a 50, it's less impactful than a 100% increase on a 200, right? Sharp flat stat. So keep that in mind. But for a 4-star, I believe those are really decent, juicy multiplier, right? Now, and also the training is pretty good because it sends weakness status on the enemy with the highest attack when the caster enters battle. When the caster dies, dispels it. But since it sends weakness, it's reality defense and critical defense minus 20%. So you want to like incite her. If you want use her, you want to do incite 1 for her as soon as possible. So you get that permanent basically. When the caster enters battle, yeah, permanent until she dies. So it's minus 20% defense on reality if you're fighting a reality monster. So be careful. Reality monster means that if he has a big reality defense, this is gonna help. If it has a low reality defense, you're gonna shred the hell out of the monster with this one as well. And critical defense minus 20 means that it's 20% easier to do a critical to them, right? And critical damage, but Incite 2 is very expensive. So don't do that. Don't do that. Fuck that. Erick, let's go to Erick. Erick is really strong. It's actually really strong. She applies a lot of debuffs. Look at this. 1 target attack. That's the ult. Dispels stats up, post status, and counter on the target, and deals 400% reality damage, 450% reality damage. Also inflicts disarm, which is cannot use incantation, but it cannot use incantation means they can't do attacks, debuffs, counters, anything that it's not the ult, but they can do the ult. If they have max moxie, they can do the ult. So don't be surprised, Pikachu, if you see like, wait, but it's disarmed. How is he doing the ult? That's why, because the ultimate is not an incantation. Ultimate is the ultimate. So I think now I'm second guessing myself. I think they can still use the ult. Incantations are the cards, but Is the ult a card considered a card for the monster? I don't know. That's like a nuances. I'm gonna ask that as well. I'm kind of curious now. I will let you guys know. I will put a comment and pin it for myself and tell you like if these are what I think or not. Now on the second card, Reality Heavy Axe, she does debuffs on the level 2 above. Reminder, she's a 4-star critical resist rate and critical def minus 25 for the target for 1 round. So she's enabling crit oriented characters. So if you pick up Lilia from your beginner banner, if you're picking her up, then using Erick, if you don't have anyone else to enable her, early game, since Lilia doesn't really perform too well due to the lack of critical on an early game, so having her doing critical resist rate and critical defense, it's a good option. Now, this is just like a mass attack that gives with penetration, and this one is like damage dealt plus 10% for all allies for 2 rounds, which is really good on Insight 1. It should be doable if you like her. If you want to use her for a little bit, it's worth. I feel like it's 4 stars, so it's fine. So she's a really powerful unit. The other units, I mean, Oliver Fogg has as a defense, he has 1 card that gives you sturdiness, so some leech rate. Like if with working hours, he gets back some HP when he attacks. 30% of the attack of the damage gets converted into HP, and then gives sturdiness, which is reality mental defense plus 10%. Now sturdiness is damage reduction plus 20. 1 stack though, so after 1 turn, I think after 1 attack that you receive, that goes away, so you need to recast it, and it's always 1 stack even on level 3. But you get a little more mental defense and reality defense for 2 rounds, which is decent. So you could use him. You could. The problem is here, Home of the Fog, if you incite 1 him, when the round ends, loses 50% of HP to gain a shield with 150% of that HP lost, which lasts until the start of the next round. And while the shield is active, it takes less damage. It's a little bit of a tank unit, but the problem is, in my opinion, is that he's gonna die. So, like, he's gonna kill himself, and the moment, which lasts, I mean, he's gonna refresh the shield, but if he takes a lot of damage, I think you want him you want to heal him a little bit. You want to heal him a little bit. Otherwise, I feel like it's gonna be too scary because they hit multiple times. He doesn't have many HP early game, so what is the shield that he's converting into? Nothing, right? So not that much. So if he gets attacked by 2 AoEs, the shield is gone, and then you need to remake it, but you lose another 15%. So it's kind of weird, right? Pavia is okay. Pavia is okay. You can't even see him. Pavia is okay. He has self-healing as well. So I mean, I'm not even gonna touch on him because it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, if you need a beast DPS for some reason, you really want to have a beast DPS, Pave is okay. It's not super worth, to be honest, investing into. So if you have any other option, please do that instead. It's fine, even if you don't counter it. But if you have a 6-star DPS that is not countering the enemies of Flatus, it's still fine. You don't have to use Pavia, right? But if for whatever reason you want to do a mono, or you want to try out a mono, I don't know, like early game, you shouldn't, but you do whatever you want in the game, right? You play however you want. So if you need a beast DPS and you don't have anyone else, then you can use Pavia, I guess. But it's not that good, so maybe it doesn't do much. So Apple, Eagle, Erick, Oliver Fogg, Nick Bottom, nah, fuck Nick Bottom. Moissan, dog. The others are all shitty, to be honest. Pavia is okay. Cristallo, nah. Personally, I wouldn't do anything with Cristallo. Bunny is not good. So yeah, I think that's it for the 3 and 4 star. I even touched on the 2 stars a little bit. If you guys have any questions about it, or if you have any other options, like, oh, why didn't you include Monolith? Right? I will explain, but I think that's it. There's nothing else that I would want to add to this. I will let you know about those 2 questions that I have. I will let you know what's the truth behind it, if it is what I think or not. But yeah, for this video it's over. Next video is gonna be tomorrow about the 5 stars worth building, and the next day after that is gonna be the 6 stars. The 6 star is gonna be a little more nuanced because like barely anyone is not worth building. So yeah, we're gonna touch on that when that time comes. So thank you for watching. Leave a like if you like it. Subscribe, that helps the channel. Also, I wanted to plug myself also again. For the actually, it's been a while since I've done it. I am probably going to stream the game when it comes out. So if you guys want to hang around and have fun together, while we're experiencing the global launch together for the first time and having fun, feel free to do so. It would be much appreciated. I'll be streaming on YouTube, but I want to eventually move on Twitch. So if you don't mind, just follow Twitch, because that's a long-term commitment. You're just like, okay, I did it. Whenever he streams, I will see it, right? So that's appreciated. Like, I'm streaming on YouTube first, so after I tell you guys enough of you guys that I'm gonna go on Twitch, then I go on Twitch. So I'm streaming on YouTube to tell you guys that I'm gonna stream on Twitch, but I will stream on YouTube properly, so for like 2-3 hours. So maybe every day after the game launches, we'll see. Probably not, but yeah. There's nothing else I can say, so I have to say. So thank you for watching and see you next time.